Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm talking about power words in general, but I'm talking about one power word in particular, and that word is temporary. So everything is temporary. So if you're stuck in a situation, you're stuck in current circumstances, so you're rationalizing why things are the way that they are, you're talking about how they are to your friends, you're thinking about it, you're dwelling in the way things are, you're observing. So you are kicking in the Zeno effect. In quantum, you are constantly observing 3D, so holding it where it is by your observation of it. Okay, now when I've told this story before, so I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it, but I am going to say how I use this because there'll be a lot of you that have never heard it because it's a very, very old video. So when I first met Jeremy, I was living with somebody else, engaged to somebody else. And during that time, Jeremy asked me out 3 times while I was living with somebody else. So obviously I couldn't do it. So it wasn't happening, but I really liked him. I was very unhappy in that relationship. I knew it wasn't right. But anyway, by the time it did finish, I thought, okay, he'll ask me out again and that'd be cool, and then it will happen. But it didn't happen. When I first finished that relationship, he was single. So I thought, well, now's the perfect time. So he obviously knew that I wasn't in that relationship anymore. No, nothing was said. And then I got it into my head that he was going to start seeing this particular person, and he did start seeing that person. And I manifested that, of course. And then they started seeing each other, and it was difficult for me because we were all in the same friends group. It was really difficult to see it and to hear about it from my friend that worked there, that was friends with her. It's really difficult. What I did was I would dwell in the fact that I was really unhappy in my previous relationship, and I let it go on for far too long before something happened, and I did end it in the end. But so I would start saying to myself, oh, why didn't you just end it sooner? Why didn't you just take a chance? And then you could be with Jeremy now. And so I was kind of like dwelling in that. I was in my early 20s, I was 23 at the time. So I was letting my head run away with me, and I used to overthink things a lot like that, but I did notice I was doing it, and I thought to myself, this is not going to help you. And given that I didn't know about manifesting and law of attraction, then I don't really know why I did this, because it was just completely out of the blue. And I thought to myself, I'm just going to keep saying temporary. I'm going to keep saying temporary. It is temporary, it is. So every time it bugged me, instead of thinking about being annoyed with myself that I hadn't finished my previous relationship before, I would just go think about the situation as it was and go temporary, temporary. And I really liked the feeling of the word. It gave me a real buzz because I thought, yeah, everything's temporary. And then I started saying they've got nothing in common, which they didn't. And I believe that, to be fair. But the temporary thing, I didn't know whether it was temporary or not. People that don't have anything in common, they do end up together, don't they, sometimes? So I knew that that didn't mean they wouldn't end up together. But the word temporary, I would say every time it bugged me, I'd be going temporary, temporary, until it just started not to bug me so much. And I think I kind of started to really feel the temporary nature of it. And then 6 weeks later, it all ended, due to the fact that they had nothing in common. So that turned out exactly as I thought as well, which I thought was really bizarre at the time. I thought, gosh, just what I was thinking, that's weird. But I wasn't surprised that it ended. So it's just got so much power, that word, because I think the reason it's got so much power is because your mind can get on with it because it knows everything is temporary, because you've lived life so far and you've seen how temporary everything is. The good and the bad, everything is temporary. Feeling states are temporary, situations are temporary, good and bad. They come, they go, they begin, they end, or they might fizzle, but that nothing lasts forever. So I think that is, again, why that is so useful. Then later on in life, as I was married to Jeremy and, started getting into this, the 2 words that I loved were fearless and unstoppable, because I know in my life that fear in the past has held me back. Because it's scary sometimes, isn't it? You want to do something, then you think about all of the stuff around that you'd also have to do in order to achieve this, and it can be very off-putting, and you think, I don't know if I can handle that. So I've ended up not doing things because of those fears that held me back. Oh, well, it'd be easier not to do it. And I didn't want that to happen anymore, and I knew I was really getting into this, and I knew anything was possible. So I started using fearless, and then I brought in unstoppable. I'd never say I am, because I don't mind I ams now, to be honest, but I never used to use those at all. So I would only ever use the word, because you're getting the energetic value of that word without any resistance of I am. So useful. So just pick out some words that feel really powerful to you and you can really feel some momentum behind. And if you don't like using I am, or you found that actually they don't feel so good to you, then start just using the word. So you're still an affirmation, but without adding the I am, you are stripping it of any resistance. It is just a word, but again, it isn't just a word because it has that energetic value. So it's doing all of the stuff that you would be doing if you used an I am affirmation and then some, because you're cutting out that resistance, you're cutting out that feeling of, oh my God, I'm delusional and all of that. All of that's gone because all you're doing is saying a word. Right. I hope that this was useful. This is a very short video. I just wanted to make it completely on point and not drift off, go down other avenues. I just wanted to stick to what it is. Everything is temporary, and you can say it just like temporary, or you can say temporary, you know, really feel it as you say it. But that word over time, the more you say it, the more you'll feel the temporary nature of it, the more temporary it will be. And then something will change and you'll think, well, really, could it have really changed from that one word? But yes, I truly believe it can. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you don't know anything about me, I'm an author, manifesting coach, and a mindset coach.